with Cole NeSmith now, who is the founder of Creative City Project, who puts on IMMERSE. Hey, Cole.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. Welcome back to the podcast. You've been on Experience Imagination 3 times. This is your 4th, so very happy to have you here and answer my questions about IMMERSE 2026. First of all, how are you feeling about the event?
You know, it's always interesting. I think anybody who is used to making things, anybody who is in the making business, there are two sides for me, and I love seeing people experience this, but it's also coming on the heels of all the labor, right? And so it's like that duality of I'm so grateful for everything that we get to experience, every artist that we get to partner with, every guest that we get to welcome, but also, whoof.
Yes. Well, you know, months and months go into the planning. So do you ever get a chance to just walk around and experience it for yourself?
You know, fortunately, we have an incredible team, and I was here this morning to do media interviews. I went home and had a work day, and then I came back at 4:30. And just even in the time between 10 a.m. when I left downtown and 4:30 when I arrived again, the amount of transformation that happened just, I think, speaks volumes to the incredible nature of our team.
It must be an emotional experience for you and your team, too, to see all these people here experiencing it. That's what it's all about, bringing joy to people.
Yeah, absolutely. IMMERSE exists to bring people together. And so to know that there are people here means the world. It started with a group of friends. Like, I called my musician friends, asked them to play their guitar on the street corner, asked dancer friends to dance in a vacant lot. And then, you know, it grew to acquaintances. And now there are just tens of thousands of strangers who I think have a passion for and believe in what IMMERSE is all about.
You know what? You probably get asked this question all the time. How would you describe IMMERSE to a newbie?
IMMERSE is a performing and interactive arts festival that happens across the streets and public spaces of downtown Orlando. Unique experiences that audiences can't have anywhere else in the world. And so that is what makes IMMERSE special. And for us, in the end, it's all about helping cultivate and elevate Orlando as a truly creative city.
And it really is. Theme park capital of the world, so much of the talent comes from that land, that world. So we were talking off mic, you said there are about 1,000 artists, like we're calling participants, but artist performers, is that about right?
Yeah, more than 170 arts organizations and artist collectives who come together to perform or display something at IMMERSE. And so, you know, some of those are small groups of people. Like, comes to mind, we have a group of musicians who turn lazy boys into instruments, and they're doing this kind of MIDI-based musical experience. And then we have what we just saw with the CFC Arts Big Band, where it's literally a big band that's the size of an orchestra, more than 50 players in that one big band. And so it really is so cool to see all of these artists come together to really serve our community.
So I ask people this when I interview them for Experience Imagination about lessons they've learned. So after doing IMMERSE for so many years since 2012, what lessons have you learned?
Pursue multiple avenues at the same time. So, you know, when we're working on a deadline, it often isn't, we don't have the luxury of being able to track down one answer and then move to the next answer and then move to the next answer. Those processes of discovery happening simultaneously really help us move forward toward the right solution, the right open door, and the amount of time that we have. So I think that's one big lesson. Don't pursue opportunities in succession, pursue them simultaneously, because we often don't have time to do that in succession. I think another lesson that I've learned is there's never an end to advocacy. You know, Creative City Project, the nonprofit organization, brings together dozens of, not only art, you know, thousands of artists, but dozens of partners from the community. So at a county level, at a city level, at the Downtown Development Board level, our corporate partners, all of those partners love IMMERSE when they're here. They love what they're seeing when they're here. But the moment we leave the streets, the moment all of these people disappear, it really is the beginning of continuing to remind people the value of what IMMERSE brings to the city, and then also remind them of what they experienced when they were here. And so I think that's another thing, is that really advocacy never ends.
Why is it so important to maintain a creative arts community?
So IMMERSE started on the belief that artists have the ability to transform our community for the better. And I think as people walk down these streets here in downtown Orlando and they come upon an art gallery in an alleyway, and they come upon a violin player on the sidewalk, and they experience a tornado of fire from the Orlando Science Center right along the street. I think that those positive, meaningful, shared experiences really not only are meaningful for the relationships that we're building, but they also help transform our relationship to this as a physical place, and then ultimately our emotional relationship to the city. And so I think art really plays a role in being and building and connecting people to culture.
Do you ever find yourself visiting, let's just say, art fairs, art festivals in other cities?
Yeah, this whole thing started because in 2009, my friend Jake and I went to Valencia, Spain. And every year they have a festival there called Las Fallas. And the community comes together to build these giant statues all over the city. Some of them in the neighborhoods are maybe 10 to 12 feet tall, but like the large ones are like 70 feet tall. And the last day of the festival, with tens of thousands of fireworks going off across the city, they set them all on fire. And it's just this one-of-a-kind, truly unique, can't have anywhere else kind of experience. And then also, like, the density of people around these, like, burning statues. It's just such, like, to me that was, we don't do this kind of stuff much in America, but we should. And so that led for me into creating a festival.
Yeah, we should definitely do more. So I know there are artists and performers that are listening to this that are wondering, like, oh, how do I take part? What do you tell them?
Yeah, every summer we have an open call to artists. We're always looking for new artist partners and collaborators. And so if people just follow our social channels, Creative City Project or IMMERSE Fest, all of that goes up around every May.
All right, and you have the mic, so is there anybody you want to thank, any groups, any individuals, or anything else you want to say about IMMERSE?
Yeah, I mean, I talked a little bit about our community partners. You know, Advent Health, a big wellness and hospital chain here in Central Florida, really continually investing in the community, not only IMMERSE, but other arts organizations like Dr. Phillips Center right behind us. OUC, who has an office like right around the corner. We've built interesting art light activation with them that's been popped up in downtown Orlando the last several years. Massey Services and their foundation, incredible supporter of the arts. Even the Posette Group, who is a realty firm here in Orlando. So it really is a breadth of partners coming together. And then, of course, all of the artists who participate in what we do. You know, I get the privilege of being able to go to rehearsals as we lead up to IMMERSE, capture what's happening in those rehearsals, get to meet the people who are, you know, leading these organizations, and then also the people who are participating in them. And I think for me, that gives me a really deep understanding of just how much work all of these artists are putting into making this thing happen. And that's so special to see.
Yeah, well, congratulations on all the success of IMMERSE after all these years.
Thank you so
Wish you
much.
continued luck in the future, but you don't need luck. You know what you're doing by now. I hope people keep coming out to IMMERSE. It's a fantastic event, and we're going to go enjoy some music. And thank you for walking me through Architects of Air. That was fun.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for being here.